Hi, my name is Sarah and I'm a midwife. The purpose of this video is to talk to you about signs and symptoms that suggest that labour has started and what to do next. So for most women, before they go into established labour, their cervix is long, thick, hard and found towards the back. Some changes need to happen to the cervix before women can start to be in active labour, the process that leads to the birth of their baby. The cervix needs to get soft, thin, stretchy and move round towards the front. For a lot of women, they have no specific signs that this is happening, and that's completely normal and nothing to be worried about. For other women, and again this can be completely normal, they may get regular, frequent sensations of the abdomen tightening and then loosening off. And often this is felt in the lower part of the abdomen, or they can have lower backache coming and going. And this can go on for many hours. It can go on all day or all night, and it can be happening often during that period, 5 or 6 times every 10 minutes, sometimes much less frequently, once every 20 minutes, once every 15 minutes. Every woman's pattern is completely different, and none of them are anything to be concerned about. During this time, many women can go about whatever they were doing without being hindered by the sensation of these tightenings. Other women may find that they are getting progressively stronger and that they need to stop, catch their breath. Sometimes they might need to take paracetamol or go in a warm bath to help them deal with the sensation of it. What's important to know is that the length of those tightenings gives you the biggest clue as to whether labour has become established or not yet. Tightenings that are changing the cervix, making it softer, stretchier, thinner and moving it round to a more anterior position, tend to be very short in duration, often lasting 10, 15 up to about 30 seconds. And for most women, as I say, these sensations are mild in their intensity. It's an exciting time, but it can go on and off for a number of days for some women. And it doesn't mean that active labour has started yet. So it's really important in this time to conserve energy. So if it's night time, do the best you can to sleep. You might need to change position regularly, perhaps put a hot water bottle over whichever area is a little bit sore. Take paracetamol. If it's the daytime, same things can apply, but try to go on with your normal day as best as possible, because distraction can be really helpful in this phase. If these tightenings go completely off and nothing happens for several days, that's nothing to worry about either. There's work being done to the cervix to make it softer, stretchier, thinner, but when these tightenings go off and nothing happens for several hours, that just tells you that established labour hasn't begun yet, and that's absolutely fine. The duration and the off-on pattern of these types of sensations is unique to every woman, and every woman has a different labour every time. Knowing that active labour has begun tends to be characterised by tightenings in the lower abdomen that stretch out to the whole bump, or for some women all of this is felt in their back. That can be to do with the way the baby's lying, but it can also just be a difference between different women, and that's okay. Many women wonder whether their waters will break as a sign that labour has begun. But actually, for most women, waters break much later in the process. Only about 7 or 8% of women start labour by their waters breaking. But for 90% of those women, contractions will start within the next 24 hours. If you think your waters have broken, sometimes it's really obvious. It comes as a gush, there's lots of fluid leaking out over the woman's underwear and anything else she might be wearing, and it's a leak of fluid that she has no control over. Amniotic fluid tends to have no smell and no colour, although you might sometimes notice it's flecked with little bits of white greasy substance which is called vernix, and it's a coating over your baby's skin during pregnancy. That's nothing to worry about. Occasionally when waters break, the fluid that comes out is a more dirty sort of colour, brownish or greenish, and have bits in it. In that scenario, it's really important that you call your midwife straight away to discuss what you think has happened, and they can talk you through the next steps. But for most women, actually how labour starts is through regular, frequent tightenings that generally have moved on from the cramps in the lower part of the bump that women feel during the softening and thinning phase, called the latent phase of labour that we talked about earlier, to now including the whole bump, or for some women the lower back. These contractions or tightenings come and go, and what we're really looking for here is a pattern of at least 3 to 4 tightenings every 10 minutes, lasting about 45 seconds or longer each, in a steady pattern like that for at least an hour. For most women in that scenario, established labour will have begun, but every woman is different, and obviously things can change from baby to baby as well for women who've had babies before. So, assuming that you're at home, more than 37 weeks pregnant, and you notice a gradual pattern where there's tightenings coming, they're getting longer, stronger, closer together, you're working harder to move through them, carry on about your day, it's likely that labour has begun. But there doesn't need to be any rush to call your midwife or go to the hospital unless you've got a concern. For example, you don't think baby has been moving so much, have any bleeding, or you think there's any fluid coming out that could be your waters. In normal circumstances, for women who are full term, 37 weeks onwards, and they think that labour has started, there's a period where you can be at home and just find your own groove, find what helps you to get through them, and over time these tightenings will get longer, stronger, closer together. Most women are guided by their decision about when to call the midwife, the birth centre or the hospital, depending on what your plans are, by needing some support with the sensations that are coming with these tightenings.